there's a tremendous ripple effect in accountability. When you own something, the power and the freedom and the joy that comes from owning that will empower you to do more and more areas. In our world, we took the worst thing we had and we kicked its butt. And it was hard, but we realized we can own this, we can do this. And then we took it to every other aspect of our lives. If you will start with an awareness of where you're not satisfied, and then to look at what you're doing about it, whether you're blaming, making excuses, saying you can't, whatever, then you can have a plan and an opportunity to go chase something and work on it. You could even start with the simplest one. Maybe take the satisfaction assessment. Go to nobodycaresbook.com and take the satisfaction assessment for free. You don't even have to give us your personal information. We want to give you this because we want you to do it. Go to nobodycaresbook.com. Take the satisfaction assessment as a resource, and then look at that and go, okay, I'm not satisfied here. This one's a 2. I'm miserable about it. And this one's a 6. I'll start with the one that's a 7. I'm going to work on my health. I'm going to go to bed earlier, drink water, and cut out booze for a month. Some simple things you can take on, whatever it is, and see the power that comes when you own that. And that will fire you up and inspire you to take now the next one that might be a 6 that you're unsatisfied with. And then we'll keep working until we get really good at this, and then we'll tackle the 2. You can make it easy, little baby steps. But it starts with the reality that you do have the power and authority to take ownership over your life. You're not a victim. And when you start practicing this, even in the smallest way, it will grow and free you to tackle more and more areas of your life. And you will gain it bit by bit. I promise you, it happened in our lives. It's happened in Salem's life. And I get calls and emails from people all the time who are reading our book saying, I'm applying this to my life and it's changing my life.
It's so funny. I love that. Was all great. The reason I'm smiling is because at one point have you ever seen the movie Scrooged with Bill
With Bill
Murray?
Murray. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. I watch it every year. And at the end, when he's having his epiphany moment, and he's speaking to the television set, and he's talking about like embracing the idea of Christmas, and you'd be like, you'll be hungry for it. You want it in your life. You want it every day. And he's starting to tear up, and I felt that energy in what you're saying about accountability. You want to take accountability in your life. You want it every day. It'll make a difference. And
With Bill Murray. That's pretty awesome.
That's a really good vibe to have for this, because I think a lot of people are scared to make decisions for themselves. I think it goes from people that I would say are high agency people that do make a lot of decisions, and then it goes all the way down to people that maybe have made some decisions in their life that have went wrong, and they're just really scared. And I think that's where some things like these personality quizzes, astrology, even religion, I think helps us to think, okay, well, how can I have some sort of guidance on this? And then there's better or worse for how these things, I think, affect our lives. But I always look back for when I took my first big trip to Europe with a good friend of mine. I was 23. I'd lived at home until then, mostly aside from university, come from a big Italian family who I love them, but they love unsolicited advice. And so like you live in that house and it's always, you could do this, or why are you doing that? You should be doing that. And it comes from a good place, but it's really hard to make these decisions for yourself when you're always told to do something else. And I remember on that trip, which was 2 months long, my friend who I traveled with really checked out for making decisions. So it was kind of all on me, and it was frustrating. But in those 2 months, I just realized, oh my God, I internalized I can make decisions for myself that turn out well, because if something fucks up, I can find a solution. I can find a new train. I can stay here if I want to. And I came back from that trip with a sense of like peacefulness, but also power.
Yeah.
That I could do all of these things. And it connected me to your idea that once you start taking responsibility and doing little things in your life, it becomes a bit of a snowball effect.
It does.
Where you're like, oh, okay, I invested this thing. Oh, I started this business. It didn't work out, but you know what? It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Maybe I'll try another one. Or I fired someone I didn't want to, but I'm sorry, I didn't want to go through the process, but I had to, and I'm glad I did it. Okay, I can do this now in my business. Or like, there's so many things that like once you start I know how to say it, like standing up for yourself, then all of these positive things happen.